Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Landmark closed beta. In today's video I am going to discuss a few topics. What has brought this about is an update to the FAQ for Landmark, which includes the news that there will be basically a full wipe of Landmark after closed beta, and this did spark a serious conversation on Reddit. At least that's where I read a thread with some people that at least seemed somewhat angry about this change in policy from Sony. And while I do agree that Sony has made a mistake in this regard, at first the FAQ clearly stated that we would keep our materials and our progression basically in the game, at least for like the inventory. After the closed beta would go into open beta, they have now came back on this decision, and so there is going to be a full wipe, except for the stuff that you have bought from the in-game store. So you will get your credits back and you'll be able to reinvest them in the store. And so some people were pretty angry, I guess you could say, at Sony for making this decision. And honestly, while I agree that Sony made a mistake here, they should not have come out and put in the fact that we would be able to keep all of this stuff from closed beta to open beta. I don't understand people that are angry over this, because honestly, when I read this and when I heard them talk about this, my very first reaction was, no way this is gonna happen. You cannot allow people to harvest materials and get an advantage of having all of the high-end materials, some of the best equipment in the game for weeks and even months, and then just allow them to keep this while the game goes in open beta. I'm never seeing that actually happen. And so yeah, in my opinion, just some common sense would have kept people from getting their hopes up in this regard. This was never going to happen. I don't think there's actually ever really been a game that I know of that has allowed you to keep all of your progression through a closed beta into an open beta and then into a launch. So yeah, I find it pretty weird, honestly, that some people reacted in this way to this news. And in the meantime, we're just going to take a little bit of a stroll, because that castle over there looks pretty interesting. And I'm going to also take a quick look at Dawnshift's claim over there, which reminds me that I should also pay my upkeep. I think I can add like 700 of that. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. So yeah, this wipe, I mean, in my opinion, it was totally to be expected. And this is just better for the game. You know, you cannot screw an economy that way by allowing people to basically have huge mountains of materials. Some people were apparently, oh my god, he's really been working on that, it looks pretty damn cool. And then have people that did not pay for a founder's pack have to start from scratch while other people have all of these advantages. It was just never going to work that way, honestly. And yeah, that's just how it is. Let me see if I can grab my oops, no, don't want to take a photo, but I actually want to get on the wall. Oh man, he's been working. Oh Jesus Christ, he's really been working on that, and he's been doing a very nice job of this. Look at that, great tower. So yeah, that was my first part. You know, there is going to be a complete wipe. Of Landmark after the closed beta, and honestly, you should have seen this coming. You should have expected that. It's just a part of game development. I agree that Sony made that one mistake of putting in the fact that we would be able to keep that. Of course, they always have this legalese for a beta that they can fall back on, where, well, basically you're sure of absolutely nothing. And if they need to do unexpected wipes, or if they need to change their policies during the closed beta, that's what they're going to do. And so this is what happened in this case. The people really that I saw complaining, and one of them is like really, in my opinion, an extreme case, are of course people that have already invested real money into the cash shop, and that is going to be like my second topic. Oh man, nice windows here as well. Man, I'm really lagging behind actually in exploring landmarks, so I might just do a little bit more of that myself. But yeah, one guy in particular, he said that he had bought for a lot of money in the cash shop in order to create and upgrade like 13 pickaxes or something like that, so that he would have like 13 of the very best pickaxes for him and his friends. And so now he sees that all of this is wasted effort, and yeah, he must have spent maybe, I don't know, dozens or even nice drone too, dozens of or even hundreds of dollars on getting all of the materials needed to do that. And so that's something that personally I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can do that. And so yeah, on the subject of cash shops, you know, I really want to maybe warn people a little bit about impulsive buying. You know, Dust 514 is another one of those examples. It's going to be changed how they develop it with a much smaller team, much less iterations, and new features will be coming to Dust 514. And as a result of this, a lot of people did get very angry on the Dust 514 forums, and there again we had one guy who spent thousands of dollars, other people spent hundreds of dollars in Dust 514. Me personally, I've never bought anything from any cash shop. I cannot understand that people actually do this, especially with such big numbers. It's really a weird thing, but it does work. You know, there is plenty. Oh man, look at that fully upgraded stuff. There are plenty of games that do work on a cash shop, and so there is definitely a market for vanity items, XP boosts, and all of that good stuff that you can actually purchase from a cash shop. But I have to be honest, I don't understand this, and I would warn people, you know. Now with this closed beta wipe, some people that have invested money in the cash shop were angry and disappointed by this decision. They feel like they've lost something. Same with the Dust 514 guys that have invested a lot of money on boosts and on gear and what not for Orem, I guess it is, that they bought in the cash shop. You know, now that Dust 514 is not going to be developed as actively, and instead CCP is going to devote a lot of resources to EVE Online Legion, it's called. Yeah, they feel cheated again here as well. So honestly, if you do want to buy stuff from a cash shop, my personal philosophy on this is don't do it, because I don't buy stuff from a cash shop. But if you do want to like support the developer or whatever, if you have your reasons for wanting to buy stuff from a cash shop, my really big advice, it's the one metric that I keep in mind for every single game, is don't spend more money than the amount of hours you've already gotten out of the game itself. So I think that's a fair price, you know. Like what for me it's €1 for 1 hour of entertainment. I think that's fair, and a lot of games beat that. You know, Skyrim, $50, sure, that's a lot of money, but I've got hundreds of hours out of this. I spent something like €50 on Landmark. Not sure if I've gotten 50 hours out of it just yet. I must be pretty damn close, but it's not even open beta yet, and it's in full development, so I'm definitely gonna get my money's worth. But I cannot justify in any way, and I would really recommend people to keep this in the back of their head, to spending dozens or even hundreds of dollars on the cash shop here in Landmark at the moment. That's something that you really shouldn't do unless you've already spent like hundreds and hundreds of hours in Landmark, and you know, yeah, that this is absolutely the game for you, and you're like the biggest fan of Landmark on the planet at the moment. Then maybe I can understand that you would do this. But yeah, if you are that person, I'm actually kind of confident that you won't feel cheated by this decision, because you've already had enough entertainment out of it to make it worth the money that you're investing. So yeah, I think honestly that's one metric that people really should keep in mind. You even got those fancy green lamps over here, pretty cool stuff honestly. Dawnshift has already built here. I'm really liking this. He's my former guild leader from World of Warcraft, so I'm seeing us do more stuff later on. Of course, all of this is going to get wiped now. Some people might find that unfortunate, but honestly, I think just some logic would have helped people to be prepared for that. This was going to happen one way or the other. And yeah, for the cash shops, I just want to quickly touch on that topic. It's something that I do see come back, and maybe should scale back. Do I still have the rights for this? Yep, I really do. Nice. So I could scale this down a little bit. Honestly, I don't like it being bigger than the stone it's resting on. So Dawnshift, if you're looking at this video, I am changing a few details on your claim here. That really should be a little bit smaller so that it doesn't overwhelm so much. I think that's better. Yeah, there we go. Post in the comments if you think it's better or if I should change it back. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's it for this video. Just a quick touch on, well, the controversy of their coming close wipe after a wipe after closed beta. And before open beta, so some people apparently find this pretty controversial. I find it pretty natural. And a quick touch on the cash shops. My own philosophy, I really don't do it. But if you do, always keep this one metric in mind. How many hours have you already spent in the game? And if then you're willing to spend like $1 per hour of entertainment, that's something that I still understand. But don't spend like hundreds of dollars in a game you've hardly played, because you'll only end up being disappointed in the end when you do stuff like that. Anyways, that's it, guys. A quick tour as well of Dawnshift's claim. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.